turned into a 3-part series. We are starting our 3rd part right now. We decided to have dessert on camera this time. So you're welcome to have dessert with us.
She brought that cake. This started cake.
It's a key lime coconut cake. And if you like to order it, you can go to poundcakery.com. So welcome back. As Keisha said, this turned into a 3-part segment. It's a lot that we've talked about and touched on over the last few episodes. So hopefully you all have tuned in and watched those. But in this, as I close out, just part of our dessert hour, we're going to talk about something that recently came up as well. In one of our previous episodes, Nellie said something, or maybe Saida may have said something about coming across, I guess, an angry black woman. And so it made me think about the recent news with Vice President Kamala and how people were talking about her interaction with the foreign news and how not just she, but another woman, I can't think of her name right now, I'm sorry, but how they shut down certain things with the press. You know, how they said certain things that made some news outlets say, do they really know how to handle foreign relations or things like that? But other women, particularly black women, were like, no, all she did was shut them down from being rude or shut them down from answering the questions. She didn't have to answer that question, or just her approach. You know, she was entitled to how she did it. It was nothing rude or wrong in her approach. And it made me think about how black women typically would be as having attitude.
Calm down when you're already calm.
Right.
Pet peeve number 1.
Right.
What's wrong with you? This is my face. Actually.
Or when you're in leadership, they just think that you're supposed to be a certain way. And when you not so much put them in their place, but correct either rudeness, or you say, no, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get along just to get along. It becomes a thing where she has an attitude, or she doesn't work well with others, or, you know.
As soon as you're not for the sucker shit.
Yes, in a sense.
Can't be taken advantage of. You're difficult.
Right.
I tell people all the time, it's
if you don't get in line.
It's a very big difference between being firm and being mean. People always in the industry, you know, she's a mean girl. It's like, oh, it's a mean girl. Now, mean, I'm not firm. Because I don't do what it is that you want me to do. Now I'm mean. Yeah, no. And I don't have to be nice just to make you feel comfortable. It's okay for me to stand my position. Because people do it all the time in other cultures. I mean, I see white women do it all the time. No, ma'am, well, you can't have it today. They got attitude.
Yeah.
Soon as I be like, no, we can't really do that. I'm attitude, I'm mean, I'm everything except for firm, maybe, you know, enthusiastic, sarcastic, but it's definitely not attitude.
Passion.
Passion.
Right.
You're gonna go with
that. No, but I think what she said, and I know you said as a black woman, you say sometimes I've seen white women do the same thing. But it made me think about, I've seen the quote or the bumper sticker, and I think Eleanor Roosevelt said it, or has been quoted as saying it, and so have other women. But it's a well-behaved woman is never remembered in history. But I'm like, does that really apply to us? Because when we're not well-behaved,
we will be remembered.
Right, we'll remember.
We will be remembered, right. But will it be for the right reason?
Right. And I'm like, does that quote really apply to us?
But
I don't feel like it applies to us.
Remembered, though. Would it be just black women as a collective, or our individuals?
Right.
Well, Harriet Tubman will always be known.
Right.
Because she was the token that they put up.
And what they told of us, because I think, no disrespect, because God knows I don't want this to go in a bad way, but they painted Harriet Tubman how selectively they wanted to paint that for us. She definitely wasn't the only of, and you know, just for the most part, you know, to history, because they want to paint our history.
Yes.
Because we know it's there. So this is why Rosa Parks.
And then how well behaved was she anyway? How well behaved was she really?
Seriously.
I mean, they paid her now, but she wasn't well behaved.
No.
Think about it. Harriet wasn't well behaved.
No, not at all. But I'm saying, just overall in general, it was a lot of Harriet Tubmans.
Yeah.
So they gave us one, is what I'm saying. That's why we got Rosa. Rosa wasn't the only person that didn't get up from that. They gave us one.
They
don't give y'all.
Remember, only because it was the young woman who was the teen mother.
She still wasn't the only one.
But they could have capitalized on her, but because of
she was
the perception of
they
how
still
the world
gave us what they wanted to give us.
Mm-hmm.
Fair skin, glasses, very fragile, very humble, and
the appearance of but it was an appearance.
Yeah,
because she fit a mold that they know will be accepted.
They only gave us the part of Martin Luther King that they want us to know.
Yeah.
They want people to be peaceful and docile and not.
Yeah, he wasn't with all the dumb shit.
He really wasn't. But
he went to jail a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, he
wasn't for sitting there.
It was good because it was against the law for what he did, but it was just certain things. He was really like
adamant about, not being. But I mean,
he went to jail for
his
what they want you to
story. His story.
Mm-hmm.
And they give us just that. His story.
Yeah.
We have to start looking for our story.
Yeah.
And not his story. Seriously.
But they also know what society is going to accept. And when you step outside of what society, the colonizer, is it going to accept?
The society that they created.
Yes.
Based on their ideas.
Absolutely. Then that's what is.
We are angry because we are not easily taken, because we put up a fight, because we are not easily taken advantage of, because we do question.
Are we really angry or are we just questioning?
I'm saying why we get that.
Mm-hmm.
Why we get that. I remember being in the meeting one time at the bank, and they gave us all something to do, and I just wanted to know why. Did that make any sense to me? And y'all know me. If it don't make sense, I ain't rolling with it.
Right.
So, Michelle, what are we doing this for?
Mm-hmm.
Knew you were going to be difficult. Whoa. What? Difficult, why? Because everybody else is just, yes, ma'am. I felt like I was doing her work. She was my manager. Mm-hmm. This task is not mine. So not just agreeing to do something to you. It's not part of my job title, number one. Not being difficult. I want to be clear. I want clarity.
Right.
She comes over and she looks at it. Everybody got this same detail on their paperwork for this research that we have to do for this stuff. And that's what she was doing. Sliding her stuff in. Mm-hmm. Angry black woman. Because we don't want to work. Now I don't want to work and do no extra stuff. I ain't here for that. I'm questioning you, and now I'm the angry black woman. I'm saying it because on so many levels, we're angry and we're difficult because we're not easy pushovers, or because we're not taken advantage of easily, and so on and so forth. It's not that we're angry. I really don't have nothing to be angry about. Sometimes I be in my happiest moods. I just don't be for the dumb stuff. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm angry. We got these Karens that go around all the time. Why are they not angry? Y'all mad because people doing this, that, and the third. They get to be Karen. That's such a sweet, pretty name. Y'all want to give us a complex. Angry black women.
Yeah.
We got to be angry black women. Why they get to be Karens? Why they can't be angry white women? Because they angry about something with their miserable asses walking around, disturbing the peace. And because they be disturbing the peace.
Yeah. I was watching this white lady called on these boys. They were playing basketball in their neighborhood, but because it was black boys playing basketball in the neighborhood and it's a white neighborhood, she didn't think that they should be there. And she wanted them to produce evidence of them being in that
entitlement.
Yes, the little girl selling waters outside of her building where her mom was trying, raising money for $1, and she wanted proof that they lived there.
The little boy riding his big wheel on the sidewalk in Brooklyn, and the lady had an attitude about it, and threatened the little boy.
Mm-hmm. You know what I am glad though is that other people are seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a gas station maybe 3-4 weeks ago in Tennessee, and this doesn't even have to do with, I don't think it was like a racist thing or whatever. So maybe she didn't like, colored people. It didn't have to be colored because I have to consider that sometimes. And she was just being a little bit difficult, and I wasn't beat because I wasn't there for that. And some nice white lady came over and was like, when people just act like that, they just shouldn't come to work. Like, she's picking on you. She's picking on you. And I thought it was so cute. And she was older, and she was sweet, and definitely, I never expected from older women. Because they have the history of segregation and so on and so forth. So I thought it was funny because she's like, so much more conscious now of,
And she said that.
The lady said it to me.
Okay.
She was like, I'm so much more conscious of it now because you're not even doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm done with this whole life. I don't give a fuck about her. She just better give me my change. Like, I don't have time to play games because I'll drag her. This angry black woman will whoop her ass up in this gas station. So I really don't have the time. I'm not trying to take the time. Like, I think that's stupid. I don't like fighting. I will if I have to. You know what I mean? I've always got a bad rep because if you do something good, they think, oh, you like doing this. No, I never like doing
But
that.
you just said something, though. You said this angry black woman. So do you take that title?
I was being sarcastic.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I was being sarcastic because they always act like you are. I just wanted my change. But I was really waiting there like everybody else, and she felt like I was attacking her. Bitch, I want my change. And I'm standing here and you're playing games, and I have to go. And you're playing games. Because it was very clear. She felt like she's going to wait. No, you're not going to make me wait. Sometimes I get the bad rep. Sometimes they think I'm foreign when I'm covered and so on and so forth. So people take advantage of who they think they can take advantage of. No. Not at all. Give me my change because she got everybody else's. No issues, no problem. She's going to give me a second after. I'm like, okay, no problem. It was just abusive after a certain point in time. I feel like they push your buttons. I feel sorry for the people that are not conscious of things that's done intentionally.
And not mentally prepared.
The 20-year-old girl that was coming in there maybe a little bit tipsy and didn't figure out and started realizing that she was getting played out and wanted to wild out in that gas station. Because now this lady's trying. I'm too grown. I ain't coming to Tennessee to get locked up. Guess what I know at 40? You ain't got to call the cops on me. At some point, I'm going to tell you, keep the change. I'm not even beat no more. I don't even care. Right. I'm not doing a certain thing. Like, I really got to be on one to give that sort of energy. But it was just funny because the lady behind me was like, now she got to wait behind me.
Right.
So now this domino effect is affecting y'all because she being an asshole to me. She was like, she's picking with you. I'm so more conscious of this now. Like, with everything that's what she was saying to me. Now, disrespect. I want to say she was like 60, 70 something. She could have been 50. Oh no.
Yes.
I'm gonna drink more water.
The collagen no pops.
I don't know. I felt like she was very older.
Okay, she could have been. But she came and she said she's more aware and more conscious.
She said I'm so much more aware and more conscious because she seen it. And I asked her one time and I never said nothing else. And then I was just like, she started filling the soda machines. I'm talking ignorant shit.
But it goes back to what Nelly said though. Like, I think the pandemic has shed light on some things, and it's made more people conscious.
Oh, they have nothing to do but go out there and march with the black people.
Yeah, right. And to understand
something is gonna matter now. And I just, I think the exposure is good. But when I finally did say something, I'm like, do you not have the money? She's like, but she didn't forget. I'm 6 foot. I'm 200 and something pounds. You walk past me too many times, look me in my face. Why would you not ask me if I needed help? I'm sitting there at the register. Stupid. Then they wonder why we're angry. I know you're doing this to me.
On purpose.
On purpose.
And even somebody behind you says it. Yeah.
Never left that register after she gave me my change.
If you would have said something.
I'm the angry black woman. So that's why I said, and I just was laughing. I told the lady behind me, I said, I've been through stupid stuff like this, but I ain't worried. But she lucky I'm still would have took like $50 for every second that I walked out of there with Reese's and stuff. I'd be feeling like I own one. But it's not my thing to do. But it's how I be feeling sometimes. So you wonder why people do certain things, you know, especially when it be the obvious.
Yeah.
You know, it's the situation in D.C. and they wouldn't let the little kid come in with the T-shirt and the sneakers on, and it was clear
a restaurant, right? Or something. Yeah.
Like when stuff is obvious like that, it really does make somebody want to wild out. Because that's how I felt.
Right.
I started feeling like the blatant.
As we do.
Yeah.
The blatant disrespect is too much.
The thing they say is, go build your own, get your own shit. But then as soon as you do that, they bomb shit and burn and rape and pillage and kill people because they are so insecure in themselves.
So they destroy your name or your character, your reputation.
They
because why are they targeting everything? You know who I have an issue with though? Us. I have an issue with us.
Why?
Because we don't have no unity. Why are they even getting something?
Because they break it every time.
Money shouldn't be able to
it's
buy.
It's not money. It's not just money though.
No, they break it.
It's not just money.
But every community that I have seen,
they're paying some of these girls to do these testifying and so on and so forth. No?
But it's not just that. I feel like some things have just, they through indoctrination, I feel like some things have dismantled our coming together and standing together for certain things. If it's not obvious and in your face, but to me, it's those covert things that still, bless you, that happen. Those systemic things that occur that are in place that keep us separated as a community too, in certain ways. Like think about it. The only time we really will come together, like if it's showcased, if it's in the, if it's in the media, if it's highlighted, if it's a big thing, but it could be as simple as someone disrespected you, and why can't we all say, well, she said something to me, I agree, something happened to me, you too, just because it's not on social media, just because it didn't make the news, but we're not going to that establishment anymore. We're just not. That's it. I don't have to see it on social media.
But I was raised, I just had a conversation yesterday, and they was like, you ever ate at Cracker Barrel before? I'm like, no, but my mother banned Cracker Barrel for some racist stuff that they, whatever the history is, because I never even researched it. I just knew we could never eat at Cracker Barrel. It just was that, and my mother was like, very strong with certain things. Like, no, they support this cause, which means if they ain't with us, they definitely against us. We're gonna buy this. We're gonna buy that. Yep. I mean, it was prison at some point in time because I'm like, I don't know, my dollar ain't helping. Like, it's not gonna make a difference. It's just $1 or something. Like, but it's $1 times a million.
But if everybody has that mentality too, right? So if everybody's accepting that behavior, if everybody's accepting that it's okay for you to call, as soon as a black woman is a little or stands up for something or speaks her mind, that she's an angry black woman or she's being aggressive. If no one ever says anything and no one ever corrects it, then that continues to be perpetuated.
Yeah.
I think they breaking that stereotype.
Right, that's
aggressively.
But
because
you have to aggressively.
Some of these women in positions now they ain't playing and they ain't caring and calling angry whatever way.
Yes.
Oh, I'm an angry Latina woman.
Yep.
Oh well. I'm an angry black woman. I'm an angry Asian woman. Yep. They killing it.
They are.
Like, seriously, seriously. I don't know how hard I agree with, the women, being the forget, I'm up here, gotta be a little child. But I am still a woman first. It makes me so proud.
It is the time of the woman.
It makes me so proud because we are not even just as black women, but I'm a black woman, so I'm going to say for black women, the underdogs every single time. For every single thing.
Yeah. My last job, it had this.
Take a deep breath.
I had to. It had this white chick that worked with me. Lazy as shit. Didn't do a goddamn thing. Yet she was making $13 an hour more than I was.
Damn.
when I go and ask for my raise when it was time for me to go up, and knowing all the shit that I was doing, I was like, I at least deserved what this bitch is doing, but this bitch don't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
And my manager is a black man.
Mm.
And he was the one that gave that white chick $33 no problem coming off the street. I had more education than her.
Mm.
But for me,
Mm-hmm.
I had to fight to get up to $28.
But that's on record. First and foremost, women alone don't make as much as their male counterparts. But then black women make even less. That's on record.
Yeah.
They've shown that.
Why do you think I left the bank? Because I didn't know that they didn't have to justify it.
They don't.
So when I started, when I realized they were having me train the manager that they was bringing in for the position that I was
Happens
opening.
all the time.
So, you're not going to stun me. So, don't put this in my detail. I'm not doing your job now because if I wasn't qualified for it, why am I teaching you?
Right. All right. That's it. Yep.
I don't want it.
That's
And
it.
guess what? I don't care enough. I be mad when the people go for because I was the only one that said so. That's why I said I was the angry black one because everybody else was just okay with it.
Yeah.
They just gonna do what they told to do. Do y'all understand what the is pimping? You're not gonna pimp the man.
Right.
Excuse me.
Even at the job, my team, if I left, they was ready to leave with me.
And you gotta
Because they
be
knew you were
able
working.
to
They knew you were
comfortably
the worker.
know that you are of value.
That's it. And I think that's what black women are starting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know who I am and recognize who I am and what I bring to the table? Because you've been swinging from my
Well,
teeth.
everybody,
You've been swinging from my boob.
this
for
is
years,
not
'cause I've
for
been-
everybody.
Okay.
Some of y'all is piece of shit. I'll be honest. Because everybody is super gassed off this, independent stuff. I'm a boss. I'm worth this. Listen, yes, be worth something, but know where you are a piece of shit at. You have to know. Because some of y'all is messing it up for us. Y'all giving us the bad rep. I have an issue with that because some of y'all are not efficient in what you do. Y'all don't understand because you have certain talents. I've worked with people in the industry wise, and the internet has fed them ego, and it's
Dreams.
it has fed them optimism.
Yes, yes.
And none of their answers was realistic because nobody executed. And I'm saying, oh wait, you ain't come up in here on boss girl shit, and y'all ain't boss bitches.
Ain't putting nothing together. Nothing.
You done messed up my
Making
whole
nothing
project. You can't be messing with my project off of an illusion because you done watched a couple videos and thought it went like this. Yeah, it's real. You know it's real work
It's
and
work.
everything.
Yeah.
You know it's real. Don't come in here acting like you production and you ain't production. You messed up my whole project. And some of y'all stay in your lane. That's all I'm saying.
Know your role. Stay in your lane and be
Be in
honest.
this class first. If
Yes.
nobody's in the audience, nobody gets to see the show. Somebody got to clap. Everybody ain't built for this.
Okay.
But the ones that are, they doing a damn thing right now. I'm actually proud.
Yes. And
I'm
that's
actually
it.
proud.
And that's it. That's
Seriously. Because I'm sick of the label angry black woman.
Yeah.
Why can't I be stressed out? Why can't I be depressed today? Why can't I be emotional? Why do I not have the right to take advantage of all those other excuses? Because a lot of times, and then we think that we're angry. No. How about we're sad today and we don't even know how to handle it? How about we're overwhelmed?
Yeah.
How about we had a bad day and it's okay to have a bad day? We're not even okay to have a bad day.
Well,
Right.
it's like with the media games that they play with their word plays and that have to do with their
Black on black ain't never been no white on
But I
white.
think Alita said something. You hear it so much that you start using the angry black woman.
Yes.
So now it's not them, it's us, and they hear it and they think it's okay, even though it's not. It's like that word we don't like to use, that N word.
Yeah.
We use it very freely. Okay,
Right.
not you, Alita, but we use it very freely. And I say that because now it's not just the outside world using the angry black woman.
You're
Our
right.
men calling
Yes.
us
Yes.
angry black women.
Yes.
And in
Yes.
some instances,
Yes.
we are taking the persona of the angry black woman. And I'm not saying that we're all angry black women, but in some cases, we are the angry black woman.
Yes.
But why?
We have no.
But why?
But what I'm saying is, in some instances, I understand. In others, we are taking the persona because we're only angry black women with a black man.
No.
In some cases,
No.
in some cases, we're just a black woman. We're just an angry woman.
No, but you got to get it right. We bitchy when we go in because I have been angry black woman. We is angry black women to the kids, to the neighbors, to the boss, to the everybody for the most part. Because an angry black woman will lose her job. You know, some people are faking for the boss. When we jump into angry black woman stage, we ain't even faking it for the boss. This is why my boss used to catch it. If I was an angry black woman, everybody was going to get that shit. I'm not telling her.
But the thing is, why were you angry though?
Well,
that's what she's getting at. Like, there's a difference between adopting a persona or having what you're talking about earlier, which you were saying earlier. You're dealing with things at home.
Right.
You're tired.
Oh, no,
you're
absolutely.
overworked,
It wasn't always
That's
angry.
something else.
But Nelly was saying now we're adapting.
We are, because you go to places like, and I get some things are by way of whatever you're going through in your life. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I'm not saying every situation, but we are taking on the persona that's being put on us. In some instances, we are adapting it, as opposed to doing what we're talking about today. How do you stop that? How do you stop that evolution of continuously going on? Their parents were
novelty,
right, but we take it on. Well, don't mess with me because you don't want to mess with me because
All right, here's my thing. Does that make you angry or not a sucker? Are you angry or are you firm?
In some cases, again.
So
in some cases, you are firm. In some cases, you are not the angry black woman. But in some instances, I feel like we are taking on the persona. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying every single situation.
But
I get it.
I look at people, if you was picked on every day, would you not be angry? They ain't got a reason to be angry. They make it seem like we're bitchy for no reason.
Right. Like it comes out. Now that is a good point. Like,
but
it's not coming from nowhere. But
why am I not going to be mad when I'm making $20 and she's making $40? Do I not have a reason to be angry today?
And it's bad because we're already a stereotype.
No, you're right.
Not facing the right.
You know, we're already a stereotype. So how do we get out of that?
I think you're absolutely right.
So
I see women proudly or comfortably. I think what Nelly is saying, like, that we've adapted it, like, the N word.
Yes, and it goes along with it.
We gotta stop being so comfortable because people are making things acceptable, and now they will water us down morally, integrity, eventually over time. Whereas for everything, facts.
For nothing. Yes.
If you stand for nothing. So I never had an issue with the word because I didn't have too much. My mother used to be livid, but they grew up in a different time, and I'm sure they had different issues with the word. So she was not beat for us using the word. I don't use it too much.
I've heard that a lot of times. We could use it because we know how we mean it. That means my bulldog. It's like that same word, my bitch. Oh, that's my bitch right over there. And you're still, in some ways, giving life to a word that is being meant to demean us.
Yeah, words
So
have power.
you still give that.
No. We can say now I've adopted that. There's nothing in those words. Angry, black woman.
I'm
Right?
very conscious now of wordplay.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know if you guys, how you speak to yourself.
Yeah.
Because even with me, I'd be like, I'm so lazy today. Like, no, I'm tired. I'm taking the day off. Because I ain't lazy. I'm doing the most.
Yeah.
So when I need my breaks, I need my breaks. I need to stop telling myself I'm being lazy. I'm never lazy. I don't feel like it. If I'm okay, then I feel like it. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I'm sad.
But
I'm not insecure. I am having a freaking emotional day.
But that's the thing. So we have to be careful of what we allow people to call us or put on us or titles or things. And we also have to be careful of what we take on and what we adopt as well. I mean, the Bible says life and death is in the tongue. So we have to be careful with this, and what we say and what we're doing and what we're allowing to be said to us, what we're taking in to our hearts. You know, what we're allowing the world to depict us as well.
So adapting the angry black woman comfortably is psychologically going to really mess with women.
It already has.
Yes.
I don't think it's
because they've always said that the white male, as being the head of this paradigm, has always said that women are emotional. That's what they've always promoted. Women are emotional. So how do you trigger this one group of women that have been doing the most, holding it down for everyone?
Everybody.
Facts. Wet nurses.
I was about to say wet nurse. Thank you.
Yeah. How do you trigger them? Throw them off. You give them another stigma to attach. To cut down on their strength of who they are. And
From, like Keisha said, there's layers. Like when we adopt those words, it puts another layer on us.
Yes.
But
And they was probably angry.
But there are so many layers.
And they could be angry for a whole lot of different
But were they
reasons.
angry because they got paid $20 less?
No, maybe they were angry because they wasn't getting paid at all. They could have been getting paid angry because of the house. The men in the house. They could have been angry because they
But
got
was he locked up because of the systems and the laws? Like, I mean, so it's
Everything.
It is, but we gotta learn how to break that cycle.
Well, you're talking to sensible people. We have to stop saying that, and we have to figure out what we're going to do to start reaching to these people. Because none of us, you're preaching. At this point, we're preaching to the choir. When I was at Amazon, I had the little young girl, and she was spazzing out. Some situations she went through with her kid's father and so on and so forth. So she's showing me this video of her bashing his windows out and so on and so forth. And she's like, because he ain't gonna be. I asked her if she knows who she is. She ever hears this story. But I asked her, why did you do that to your kid's father? Like, you did that to his car? And I've been there, sometimes. So you can't do the window, but whatever. She said, because I asked him to buy my daughter, a bike, and he didn't do it. And I said, how old's your daughter? It's 6 months.
What?
I'm not done. Let me
Okay,
pick my face up.
I turned my face.
Hold up. So I said, spite. You understand what I'm saying? She's pimping with the kids. I don't like females that do that. That's an emasculation with men on a whole nother level. My own reasons. I have my own family that has went through that sort of dangling,
Yeah.
The mother was there with her. The mom.
I heard you.
So I said to her, that's your mother? She said, yeah. I said, your mom let you go out there and do that? Because let me tell you something. As ratchet as I get, I'm not ever going to want my daughter to bust down her baby dad's windows like it's certain. And my mother would have never. So I asked her, and here's my point. I was never going to want my daughter to bust out the window. I mean, if I do it, I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going with her.
I'm just laughing at her face.
Oh. Definitely know I'm with some shit, but I ain't taking Juju with me to bust nobody's windows out.
That's true.
My mama bust my daddy window.
I was about to say your mama. I was about to say your mama was
your mom.
And then she busted the little window. And then my dad was like, but you busted the little window. I was like, God, did I bust the little window? I didn't even realize I was. And then they were having a conversation about the little window. That's all I remember. When I was like, oh my God, you never touched the little window.
You can't even use that because they have real relationships. This is something
They
different.
did have
I'm
a real
talking ratchet shit. You understand what I'm saying? It have a reason because I had a reason to throw that candle through the window. I don't think it was smart, but I had my real reason. She felt like she had her real reason.
Okay.
So I asked her, you wanted to get him locked up. Where are you gonna get the money from when they go to jail?
Woo!
And she was like, well, he don't give me nothing. Now I said, okay, I can take it. I got a different angle with you because you aren't realistic. So I got to go a different angle with you. How did you feel if that was actually your last time seeing her? Because you're talking to somebody that don't have a kid father, never knew that was going to be his last time walking out the door. What you feel if he literally died tomorrow? Do you want that to be your last interaction with it? You have to see it. She started tearing up. And I said, nobody's fucking talking to these kids.
Yes.
Why? You acting off of emotion.
Because
what if he, as he was trying to get away from you that day, sped off and crashed his car and flew out of that window that y'all broke down like that.
Man.
You kids don't even have no father there. Who the fuck behind that bike? Now I'm talking to her like that because that's me. I don't know how to be more tailored than that. But I had to give it to her how she was coming because that was her energy.
Yeah.
I'm saying, damn. Does it work for you? You said y'all do this all the time. Still didn't get you the bike. So you don't think try a different approach? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I wish somebody at that age would. My mother never knew I was doing that type of dumb stuff. If my mother ever knew I was out there wilding like that, she probably would have talked to me. I say that.
Right, she would have.
Come on. First of all, I ain't raised you like that. But I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But she would have talked to me.
She wouldn't have said it like that.
And what you not going
She
to
doesn't.
Oh, no, she don't do that. I'm damn, I'm going to exaggerate. Y'all put me on blast. I can't even commercial.
But you're right, and I think that's the point that I'm trying to make. We have that adoption is there.
We were coaching.
Somewhere.
We weren't mad about mistakes. We was talking to these nutcases that was doing this dumb stuff. So they have a reason to be mad. Y'all just not listening. I'm telling you.
Oh, no, because they got to go through their own experiences.
And everybody does. But in order for it to change,
things you don't have to
people have to start touch. We have to start.
You're right. Talking and giving each other back. But that is one of the things, like with the crown experience, why we wanted to start this was the whole point of it's the crown. So women, rock your crowns, but rock them the right way. You know, rock them with the right authority. Rock them, yes. But it's and wear it well. And it is okay to shut it down. It is okay to set your boundaries. It is okay to say no. It is okay to question things. It is okay to come at people and say, listen, you know what? I realize that it's time for my raise, and this is what I've been doing, and I know there it is, and it's okay. And it's okay not to accept the stigmas that the world try to put on you.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's okay.
It's very scary out here right now. I have to say that.
It is.
I'm nervous for the future. I'm nervous for my grandchild. I am.
Yeah. I'm nervous for my kids.
Me too.
Honestly, I kept thinking like, wow, why would I have maybe one more baby? I'm like scared to almost wait. If I would have this mentality that I am now, back then, I probably would have stopped it just by doing it. I am so scared for the truth that I got. Like the gang that it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Seriously. And then that's not the mentality to have. The mentality to have is everybody that is happening, building and raising right, the influences in the masses.
Yeah.
Snatching them.
And it is the masses. It is the influence.
You have to win. I don't care how much stuff you give your kids.
Mm-hmm.
The world goes suck about it, telling this okay to do this. You got the devil in this ear, that ear,
but that's why you got to keep that core.
Keep that core, and hope for the best.
That they all resort back to, because they said hopefully at some point in time, like John said, you'll see it in the grandkids. Hopefully they will resort back to a certain stabilization, a certain something where it's some sort of
and that is all we can do, and then do that for every kid we can touch. For every, like you did, like with that young lady, having that conversation. And this is what these conversations is.
Some people process in my brain, if they die tomorrow, I am okay with the last, because I'm very conscious about how I deal with people. Very. So, but people don't think about that. They just act off of emotions. No strategy in any way, shape, or form.
And I think that's what gives people that stigma. You know, those titles.
With the angry
black, you know, when we, and it's unfortunate that we can't
show our emotions. Fed up.
Right, and it is easy because of all that we deal with. It's a lot of these things that you said we put on, and it is things we can put on, like even with Angry Black Woman, that title, but we have to be mindful of what we're putting on, period. Because also, it can also seep out, and it can seem as aggressive or angry because we're not giving ourselves that girth and that space to be, to rest. To not have to take on the world, not to be everybody's wet nurse, you know, because that was, you know, been passed down. We are not the wet nurse any longer, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to get our uniform dirty. every once in a while.
Looking at
And
me when she said that nurse. I feel some kind
Oh,
of way.
it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I, like when we talk about history, we talk about things ingrained. We have been the backbone of the community. If you look in friendships,
Everything.
look in businesses. If you look, there's always the woman educated. Most teachers are.
Everything.
I mean, there's men in it, but there's a lot of more women. The nurses. Let me tell you, I love nurses. Nurses run the hospital. Thank God for doctors, but nurses are the heart.
The nurses.
My nurses, when I had my baby, I loved every nurse was a blessing for me at that hospital. And they were majority women. And so we have been holding it down as women, because even if when people always talk about hunter gathering and things like that, the men would go out to hunt. There are societies where women would too, but
But eat the meat
with
without
the woman
women.
cooking, right? Or things. So we take care of all the other
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with it. But we have to extend grace to ourselves as we extend grace to others. We have to love on ourselves as we love on others, and we have to, if we want to encourage you, and I want to encourage you, you are this, you are that, you are awesome, you are beautiful. Don't you accept what the world's trying to put on you, then I need to do the same thing.